Hey everybody, it is Coach Lisa with the Running University, helping people celebrate finish lines they never thought possible, as well as helping women put the fun and joy in running. And we are back today with one of my favorite segments that I've been doing monthly now, and that is our member spotlights from our TRU tribe. And today we get to talk to Amy. I'm starting to message them and ask them to do this. First, I asked for volunteers, and then I kind of just started harassing people because we have some amazing women in our tribe. And I think we would all agree to say that it's very hard for all of us to toot our own horn. So these, I know, get a little, people get a little nervous because they don't want to toot their own horn, but dang it, I got some amazing women and I want you guys to all hear about them. So here's Amy. Yay. So like usual, the first question I just like to ask is how did you find me? Like, what made you seek me out? How did that happen? And when, if you remember?
I believe it was in 2017. We had just moved back to Arizona from California, and I was going to be turning 50 the next year. And so I started stalking you, and I looked up ultras, and then I looked up Back of the Packers, and then I just started following you, I think on Facebook for quite a while. And then I finally reached out, and I think I went to was when you had the not the trail fitness, but the
running camp.
Yeah, running camp. And got there, had a great, it was fun meeting you guys. And then I think I broke my toe. So I had to be out for a while. But you, the whole time, even though I had just gone to one event, you emailed me, you checked on how my toe was, and that's how I started. And then that fall, I think it was 2018. Then I ran Frenzy for the 50. Yes.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So people, this is funny, and I always say this because people don't believe me, but I have people who have stalked me. I don't know how long it was. And, they always say after they stalked me for X amount of time, like, I wish I would have contacted you earlier. Right. Yes. I totally remember that running camp. Cause I remember, I think the next day you were like, oh, well, I guess I broke my toe now, but it wasn't at running camp. You didn't break your toe.
No, I dropped.
Just to clarify.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember that's funny. And you had
on me during that time when I wasn't even a member or anything. I had just come to one thing. I was like, wow, this is really cool.
Oh, I think that's also very much in the spirit. And I don't even know, I'm trying to remember. I don't think the tribe, because officially the tribe started in 2019, which was actually like a online community. I did have a tribe. It just wasn't, now it keeps evolving, right? Like you've been in for a while now, so it keeps evolving, which is awesome. I love it because, we got to keep evolving. And so, tell me about, because you had done a marathon, right? And you did have this goal of wanting to do your first 50K. How was your experience training with the tribe and your first 50K?
I had done 4 marathons up until that time, because I think I ran a marathon for my 40th, and that's kind of why I wanted to do an ultra for my 50th. This training plan was so much better. I think it had to do with the community because, again, I'd always done road. I'd maybe a few trails, but nothing significant. And I remember going out to McDowell Mountains for one, I think it was it was a 7-miler or something initial. And I was I kept slipping, and it was very frustrating. And everybody kept running back to check on me and make sure that, it was just very supportive. And you said it only can get better from this. I remember you saying that. And then I just got more comfortable running on the trails. I still am afraid of falling, and I still fall, but it's not that bad when it happens every time.
Right. You learn to fall and get back up better every time.
But the training plan was great. Honestly, if you know me, that's one of my things is I'm not super disciplined. So I love that you have the training plan there in the hopes that we follow it. And the most fun I have with the training plans are the group runs and the group events. And that just led me to finish the 50K. I had several ladies that I ran with every weekend up until then, and we just had a great time.
That's awesome. So I'm just going to recap on a couple of things that you mentioned, because I know that I love that you just said, you almost said just 7 miles. That's like a huge thing that we talk about in the tribe, right? Like nobody's allowed to use the word just a 5K, because even though we have women doing up to ultras, it's definitely not a requirement to be in the tribe. We have several women who don't do more than 5Ks, even, I think 5Ks and 5Ks. So I love that you caught yourself, because we catch ourselves. We will catch each other, and still to this day, we always make sure. And also the training plans that I do, you mentioned looking for back of the packers, and, I believe in training. It's so very important, but, sometimes plans are they're just too much. And of course I focus on technique, which is also something different than most other people, but you really touched on community, which I think, as much as I say it's the walking and running that brings the tribe together, at the end of the day, what I love the most, and what I think we all get the most out of the tribe, is that sense of community, right? Regardless, I mean, you're local, so you get to see and hang out with people. I've interviewed other people that are not local, but still get that sense of community just by being online. So I like that.
And I'm remembering now, because obviously this has been a few years. But yeah, leading up to the 50K, like you had me take the chi running class, which was huge, like super helpful. And I'm still, obviously can keep working on my cadence and all those things, but those techniques stick with you, especially when you're tired. And running uphill, learning to be more efficient, those were all things that I utilized during the 50K. But when I did the training plans for the marathon, it was just stuff I found online or like in the back of a book. And I felt like the miles increased so much from one weekend to the next, and I would be dealing with like plantar fasciitis or other injuries. And this time I wasn't injured at all. And again, what I like about the running community is, like you said, you have some really fast women, and then you have us everyday women, and it doesn't matter. It's all like, what do you want to do to improve yourself, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I love that. And that's exactly right. Like we work really hard, and also catch ourselves. I hate to use the word catch ourselves because it sounds negative, and not comparing ourselves to everybody else, because we have different age groups. I mean, running is such an easy sport that you can compare yourself. And I think it is something that people are afraid to get into running, because they start looking at, oh, well, so-and-so, looks so, I hate to, skinny, or, like a runner is supposed to look a specific way. We are totally not any of that. Like, we just do it. And I love that you said that about the technique too, because we always say it's a work in progress. You're never perfect on technique, but I just came back from Silverton, and I'm getting ready to do a video on my DFL, the talking last. I was last in the marathon, but the technique was a huge part of me being able to get it all done. And I had no pain, nothing hurt anywhere. I mean, I was tired, but no injuries.
Right.
So yeah, speaking of injuries, because I don't remember where you made the comment. It was in one of your spotlights, but it always just stuck with me. But you did make the comment. You were out, you had a shoulder thing, and you were out for a while.
I had shoulder.
You're still in the community. So maybe talk a little bit, you know what comment I'm talking about?
Yeah. Well, one thing I really like about the running university is we've made friendships. So even if I'm not actually, if I'm injured because of an old age shoulder thing or whatever, it's like I can come and go anytime. Like if I haven't been at a Saturday running thing for a while, I show up. It's so easy just to be enveloped by everybody. And it's I've made some really good friends. One thing I was thinking when you were saying that we were going to have this little interview here, I had a lot of just emotional stuff with my parents, and then just stress at my job. And through running with these ladies and just conversation, I was encouraged to take a career change, to go from school social work to hospice, and them sharing about their own leaps and risks that they've taken. And I always feel like I get great advice, and it doesn't have to just be running. It's like on life, and we're all different. I'm married, I have 2 kids. Not everybody in the tribe is married, not everybody has kids, and yet we all are super supportive of where anybody's at. I love it.
Yeah, I have to say, I'm literally getting tears in my eyes. And even when I read that comment and I thought about you. I wanted to get into this and it came in naturally, which is again how these interviews happen. Because I always say again, the running and the walking is the catalyst, but it's so, and I don't want to say it's the tribe, it's truly just everybody together, just like you said. And, to know now that, basically the whole idea is to live your best life, right? And running is where it starts. But the fact that you can make that career change and now you found a perfect job, right? Like you love your job,
love
right?
it,
You're in such a better place mentally, emotionally.
And I'm going to be 5, so that's kind of older to do a big career change.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But to know that other people have done it. And first of all, we always say we can do hard things. Like when you think about what you go through, again, it doesn't matter the distance. Like a 5K could be really hard for somebody and that's amazing. But when you get through the mindset stuff and being like, oh, I could do that, then it trickles into the rest of your life, right? And then you have that support system with everybody. I mean, I feel like in the last 3 or 4 years, there's several of you guys that have had career changes or made some of these big life moves that are scary at our age, but still, went for it. And, now you're better for it. So I love it. That's awesome. And I also, now you're a lifetime member, right? We kid around about this stuff. Because at one point I offered a lifetime membership for some people and Amy was one of the people who took advantage of it. So she never has to pay anymore. And I always say, wherever I'm at, we'll be, we're going to be like this in 20 years. We're going to be somewhere on the rock and I don't know, talking and having a picnic and drinking a beer, talking about 20 years ago when we were doing this. So I love it. So one thing it's funny, I was looking at your bucket list race and I actually Googled it because the Skyline to Sea was on my bucket list at one point. I was actually I think I even signed up. It was the year I got planner. And I've only been injured twice. And I just remember I was so bummed because I was going to my cousin's wedding in Napa. So it was going to be like, a whole vacation. And I don't know if they have it anymore. I tried Googling it yesterday. I can't find it.
I think it got shut down after.
We're going to have to find another one. But it does seem that there is actually a trail that's actually like a 29.5. So maybe we have to go have our own TRU TRIBE Skyline to Sea.
Well, like I love doing the destination race with the TRU TRIBE. And I love like getting the, I don't know, it's just fun doing little road trips. And so I'm really looking forward to Catalina this fall.
Me too. I'm so excited. So yeah, this is at the recording of this, it's July of 2023. And I try to do destination races because they are fun. The road trips are fun. And this year we decided to include, some people are including their significant others.
Yeah.
It should be fun because Greg is finally coming to one too. I'm super excited. I've never been to Catalina. So, and that's part of, again, what this whole thing is about. As much as we redo a lot of same races like Frenzy, right? Frenzy 50K, whenever you're watching this, I have a program for Frenzy 50K and there are other distances, 5 miles, 10 miles, 25K. Is one of my favorite races for women to do their first 50K because you get plenty of time for the cutoff, right? Like there's plenty of time. You can almost really power hike the whole thing and still be okay. And yes, there's a lot of walking and hiking that happens and running. Just letting people know watching this. People are always like, I got to run the whole thing. You have to run anything. I mean, so do you have another bucket list? I'm just curious because I'm just going through, since that was your original one. And you mentioned something about Grand Canyon on here. Did you do a rim to rim yet? Or
I haven't done a rim to rim. Last year, I did Imogene Pass, but that wasn't part of a race. It was on my own with some friends. And then I've done the Grand Canyon, but not rim to rim. So yes, that is something I'd like to do. I'm kind of like a boxer dog though, where it's like, I don't like things too hot. So my training's really slowed down this summer. I don't like things too cold. So Moab, I will cheer you guys on from afar.
Totally cool. Catalina should be perfect now, right? Well, there was one more thing. What were your biggest accomplishments since you started in the TRU TRIBE? So just recap, because I don't know if you reread that question, but recap your biggest running accomplishments. And I guess you already touched on the your life accomplishment with your job.
Well, just even last year being able to say, oh, okay, I'm going to be turning 55. Let's see if I can still do an ultra. And I did, and I actually got better time, and it was the worst weather ever, like rained pretty much the whole time. And here's another thing about the tribe. So it was a cold day. It was, you know, started off early, obviously, because I'm back of the packer. Like many hours later, I finish and it's pouring, and the ladies are still there, like the ones who didn't even run the 50K. And I get done. I felt not like I'll ever be a Courtney, but like they come, they rush over me. They have a towel around me so I can change and put on dry clothes with nobody seeing me, rubbing my shoulders, getting me soup. It just was really special. And my accomplishments, like the way people react to them, just make you feel really special, because it's easy to say, oh, I should have done this, or here I walked and I could have cut off time here. But the fact that my True Tribe community is sometimes even more excited than I am, and they're recapping impressive stuff, is just amazing. And one of the things I want to say too is we had mentioned earlier about running size, and oh, you know, like you have to think you're skinny or whatever. And I've always had body image issues, and I feel like this tribe catches me on saying anything negative about my body. We're also accepting. We just had a pool party at someone's house, and it's like nobody cares. We're just there to love and support each other, and I need that.
Yeah. I think it's so important. You know, I was just actually talking to my parents yesterday about this, you know, the blue zones and the centenarians. You know, they did this thing on centenarians, and one of the most important things, like, you know, your quality of your food and sleep and blah blah blah, but one of the most important things, or the 7 things, is the social connections, right? And I think, I mean, I get goosebumps again because I really believe that is ultimately, and I love seeing pictures on Facebook, even not running related, right? Like I think there was one of Michelle did something like you were, you know, and just to see, and I'm like, oh, I know that they met in the tribe, right? Like it's just that sense of belonging and such a supportive community. I mean, as a matter of fact, if you're watching this video, depending on where you are, like I don't even have the tribe opened up for people. We vet people to come in. That's how I don't know, that sensitive I am to the energy that the people in the tribe provide. I do have to grow, and I am in the process of, so if you are watching this and you're interested or intrigued about what happens in the tribe, feel free to send me an email at Lisa at the Running University, and I'll give you a 30-day free trial to come in. And it doesn't matter where you live. Again, we have people all over, I'm going to say the world, because Rocio's in Mexico City and she's a member of the tribe. So, yeah, I appreciate that. But it really, at the end of the day, and that's another, I think, as I'm evolving as a business and even the community, the next step that I'm taking or really getting on is this pro-aging thing. Like I hate it when I hear people go, I mean, it's okay, we are aging, and there's factual things about aging, that happen, but I don't want everybody to start getting caught up in this, like, oh, you know, I'm aging, so I can't do blah. No, like, you know, we can do whatever. I mean, we have women in our tribe, right? Like we're in our 50s, but we have women in our 60s who are doing freaking incredible stuff, and they inspire us, and it's like this circle of inspiration. So, yeah. Anything else you want to add to this?
Well, just going back to just at our age and stuff, and so we're all going through all these hormone changes, everything like that. Again, so supportive, like what things have worked. Being a lifetime member, yes, I can come and go, and knowing how easy that is. But one of the things that I really appreciate about the tribe is that if I choose, there are so many things on lifestyle, you know, like just meditation, organization,
book club.
Not just about running, and book club. Yeah, book club's a lot of fun. So I can't say enough about this.
That
I joined. I'm really glad found it. So
thank you. Yeah, and you know, again, if you're stalking me, just email me. Like, trust me. And again, it's so chill. We're not gonna like hound you. Like, you come in for 30 days, you like it, you don't like it. There's no pressure. Like, I'm not, you know, we're not gonna pressure you because either you're in, you know, or you're out.
But there's so many opportunities. I mean, you have like 50 million strength video trainings that we can do, and then you do like you do a class and Barbara does a class, and those are great, because I'm not a gym person, and the fact that I can just go online with my coach and with some other runners and get my strength training in has been awesome.
Yeah, that is fun. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff that we have in there, like a lot of content and a lot of information. All right. Anything else that you can think of, Amy, that you want to add? Everything you shared was fantastic. And again, from the heart, I so appreciate it. And I just look forward to, again, like, we have so much fun at whether it's on Zoom or in person or at our events and races. So, it feels good to know, like, this is what I get to do for the rest of my life with these amazing women.
And I just thought of one other thing. So yes, we have a lot of fun, but we also, we can keep doing more and more. The community is there to push you on if that's what you want. So
yes, exactly. Yes. And just like you said, like sometimes people are in and out, right? Like there's a lot of options to be engaged, and sometimes people need to be out, and like you said, we have women. That was what I was going to say earlier about the lifestyle, is because we're in this age group. I say 50 plus. We have 30-year-olds in our group, right? But generally speaking, because we go through a lot of these same life things together, right? You talked about aging parents. We have people that have lost their parents, things like empty nesting, right? Like not everybody has kids in the group, but we have people that are empty nesters. So there's a lot of life things that happen. And when you have other women who are like-minded and you have plenty of miles to run together, to solve all the world problems.
Yeah, I always feel better after a run.
Right, exactly. Thank you so much, Amy. I really appreciate it. Again, for anybody watching this, please just shoot me an email if you're curious, lisa@therunninguniversity.com, and I'd be happy to have you come in for 30 days to check us out. All right.
Thanks, Lisa. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.